Hey folks, Poverty Point Customs here. Well, this is my 2006 Yamaha Stratoliner 1900. What we're going to do today is the oil and filter change. So the bike has 18,924 kilometers. So what you're going to need is a 17mm socket, 17mm wrench. You're going to need this. It's a 3/16 to take off the guard covering your oil filter. And as you can see, I have the front and rear tire up on 2x4s. Just allows me room to get the oil pan under because the bike's so low. So I picked up a complete Yamalube oil change kit for the motorcycle. I got this off the Yamaha website, so let's see what's inside. Alright, so we got 5 liters of Yamaha 10W40 oil, Yamalube. We've got the factory oil filter. We have the oil change sticker. Comes with 3 crush washers, and it even comes with a set of gloves. Now this is around $108 Canadian delivered. Alright, once your bike's warmed up, you're going to take off the seat. You're going to remove your oil fill cap. This is for your oil tank. Alright, so there's 3 spots to drain. The first one is going to be right up here, right there by your shock. So we're going to drain this one first. This will drain the oil tank. That's a 17mm socket. So once that's done draining, I'm going to clean off the oil plug and I'm going to put a new crush washer on. Again, this came from Yamaha. And there's the part number. Alright, so that's reinstalled, and make sure to check your torque settings. And as you can see, the oil tank is completely empty, so that drained the oil in the oil tank. What we're going to do is go on the other side of the bike, and what we're going to do next is drain the oil in the cylinders. Alright, so when you go under the bike, you're going to have one right here. And that's why you're going to need a wrench and not a socket, because there's not a whole lot of room. So that's just in front of the kickstand. And then just behind the kickstand, you're going to have another one right there. So again, you're going to use a 17mm wrench. So we're going to drain both of those next. Alright, so I have both of those undone. So they're just draining there nicely now. I will say, whoever did the last oil change on those, put those on He-Man strength. So make sure you check your torque settings and don't put them on to the point that you're going to strip it for the next person when they're trying to get it off. And like the other side, when we reinstall the bolts, we're going to put new crush washers on them again. Also too, before you reinstall the bolts, make sure you clean up the surface underneath, just to make sure you're not trapping dirt between the bolt and the engine, so it's going to get into your cylinders. And it's done draining, so I'm going to reinstall the bolts with the new crush washers. And the next step is to remove the oil filter and replace it. You got to take off your little cover here. And you're going to remove your oil filter. And before you install your new oil filter, you're going to want to clean off your surface where the oil filter makes contact with your rubber gasket. And before you install your new oil filter, you want to take some oil and go around the gasket. So before I reinstall the cover that's protecting the oil filter, I'm going to fill it up with oil and then we'll check for leaks. So we're going to pour in 3 liters, then we're going to let the bike run for 15-20 seconds to get oil into the cylinders, and then we're going to top it up. Alright, so we added 3 liters, so the oil tank's full, so we want to get the oil from here into the cylinder, so we're going to let it run for about 15 seconds. Now that we've had the bike running for 15-20 seconds, we're going to top up the oil tank. So it took exactly 5 liters of oil. And so you can reinstall your seat now. Another alternative to the Yamaha oil filter is a KN303, the K&N oil filter. And it came with a little sticker, so I may as well use it and put it under the seat. And there we go, it's all done. It really doesn't take that long. Again, don't over tighten your oil drain bolts. Again, this side here, they were quite hard to get to, and they were certainly over tightened. The right side was actually quite easy to get to. The reason I actually did this oil change, the last owner said it was just recently done, but the thing is, you don't know what type of oil they put in it. The oil looked fairly clean, but it's nice to start fresh. Now I'm on my own oil change schedule. And again, I purchased the oil change kit through Yamaha Canada. It was actually $103 shipped, so that's not too bad for 5 liters of oil, the crush washers, 3 of them, and the oil filter. So it's fairly cheap oil change. It's easy and quick to do. Again, anybody can do this with some basic hand tools. Just takes probably 10 minutes to do. Hope this helps some of you out there. What I'm going to do next is hopefully get the spark plugs changed. I would say they're original from 2006, judging by the low kilometers on this, and there is a little bit of rust on the spark plugs themselves. A little hard to see, but that's going to be the next chore. But if you have any tips, suggestions, comments, or whatnot, make sure you post them below. If not, I really appreciate you watching. Now it's time to get this thing out of the garage and actually put some miles on it. Take care.